Alright, there we go. Alright. Hey, what is up, YouTube, boxing family? It is K-Rod here. I am back, with another good video for y'all today. I wanted to make this video to, give you guys some insight on, Mr. Abraham, Supernova. He will be, fighting on the whatchamacallit, the Joe Smith Jr. versus Artur Beterbiev fight card. For those of you that are potentially interested in going to that fight at the Madison Square Garden, I will definitely be there at that fight. I am planning on going to that fight, and hopefully, like, if everything does go well, I will be planning on making my trip out there. Um, as far as like what to expect from this potential opponent, his opponent that he will be facing is Robeisy Ramirez. Robeisy Ramirez, he is a fighter that is from Cuba. He is under the training of, I believe his name is Ismael Salas. He is the trainer of former welterweight WBA world champion that had been recently defeated by Errol Spence, your Dennis Ugas, and basically he comes like obviously from the Cuban school of boxing, but I wouldn't really say Salas is really focused on that. He basically brings like a different mindset to the game, and I would say that he focuses more on the core fundamentals, on being technical in the ring, and he does a good job with that. And I definitely credit Robeisy Ramirez for being such a good, heavily skilled fighter. For people that don't know who Robeisy is, he was a Cuban fighter that had became, I believe, a two-time Olympic gold medalist. He had fought Shakur Stevenson in the amateurs at the Olympic level, and unfortunately, Shakur had lost to him in the Olympic gold medal match, to which some people had thought Shakur had won that fight, but Robeisy had defeated him, and that's basically how everything went down through his amateur background. But that still doesn't mean Robeisy has, good skills, in the pros to potentially, bring a tough challenge to Shakur. But I think based off of the success that Shakur has had compared to Robeisy, Robeisy's career is basically at a fault versus Shakur's career. He came into the pros at a good age, and Robeisy, he came into the pros a little bit too late. For those of you that don't know, his career debut was in 2019, and compare that to Shakur Stevenson. Shakur had been in the game, if I'm not mistaken, since he was about, I think, 19 years old. Yeah, he's 24, so... oh, wait, actually, no. Yeah, Shakur started in 2019, and... Oh, wait, actually, no. I'm sorry. Shakur started in 2017. He faced up against Edgar Brito. That was February 22nd of 2017. That was 8 days before my birthday. Wow. But yeah, Shakur, he started back in 2017, and I believe he was born in 96, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. So 24. Yeah, so that was like 5 years ago. Hold on. Yeah, because I'm pretty sure. Yeah, 5 years. Yeah. Yeah, 2017. Yeah. So 24. Yeah. So Shakur, he started his career at 19 years old. Versus from Robeisy, he came into the game in 2019. So he's only been in the sport for 3 years, and yeah, he actually started his career at 25 years old. Wow, like that's insane. But yeah, Abraham Nova, he is set to face him in this highly anticipated bout. And I guess as far as the style, I would view Robeisy Ramirez to be a pure boxer counterpuncher. He doesn't have the one-shot knockout power, but his power is there. His power does give you some how should I say, some hard touches and looks to the point where he actually has great distance and great timing. And that's like the greatest thing, like about him, because he definitely knows how to prioritize himself to the point where he's a very, very good fighter on the outside. But I will say on the inside, I don't think that's his biggest strength, because the biggest problem that I have with him is just that he likes to mix it up too much, where he thinks he could just start banging with people that have been physically smaller than him, and he hasn't really been that type of dude to to actually do damage to people like that. But I mean, don't get it twisted. Like, I mean, he is a damn good fighter, and I think what Abraham's going to bring out of him is that he's going to show that no matter how good of a pure boxer you are, he just has that it factor to just hit you with something hard to the point where that relentless pressure, similar to Errol Spence in a way, really displays very good at a high level. And I think I want to say Abraham is probably going to prove a point to say, that if he can stop him, that would kind of like send like a message out to guys like Shakur Stevenson to to show that Abraham was the only person to stop him and the very first person to ever beat him convincingly. So I don't see this fight really going to a knockout. I think Abraham, he will try to score like a knockdown, but as far as getting like a knockout, I'm not really too sure. I just think based off of what the styles, both fighters are just too good in their skill set to allow themselves to get hit too much, and I think the fighter that possesses better pure boxing tactics, that's gonna be Abraham, because I think Abraham, he's just that good of a pure boxer puncher, where his inside and outside game is just already versatile to the point where he has too many gears. And I think Robesi, he's gonna have his toughest fight of his career, along with Abraham. But knowing that this is a co-main event, and I don't know how the hell Robesi will ever be valuable in a win if Abraham does beat him. But I just think due to the high risk, low reward, um, how should I say it, the outcome of what could happen out of this fight. I just think Abraham, he has to beat this guy, and he cannot lose his spot, because for those of you that don't know, Abraham, if I'm not mistaken, he's number 2 in the WBO rankings at featherweight. So, I mean, it's very, very crucial that he does beat Robesi, because Robesi, I'm pretty sure he'll be propped up to be fighting up against Emmanuel Navarrete, and all the political political checkers will be favored to go in that route if Abraham does lose. So I would say that this is like a must-win, high display performance that Abraham has to prioritize against Robesi Ramirez, and I think that's very, very vital for him to do that, because Robesi, he's no joke. He is definitely a hungry fighter. He's only 28 years old, so he's in the same boat as Abraham. But the only difference is that Abraham, he's been in the game longer than Robesi. And I think Abraham, he's going to come in with a chip on his shoulder to try to, make a statement on this guy. And I think, honestly, this is a much better fight for him, because just wanting him to fight either Isaac Dogboe, to which I don't understand how the hell Isaac Dogboe got the #1 position, because credit, you beat Christopher Pitufo Diaz, but Christopher Pitufo Diaz, he was never in the top 5 of the WBO rankings, if I'm not mistaken. And I mean, he just had recently lost to Navarrete, leading up to that point. So I just don't understand how Isaac manage to manage to ever get the number one spot, and then get a robbery decision over Chris. So honestly, I just really hope that Abraham he can seal the deal, and whatever happens next for him, maybe he can get Navarrete next. But I heard that Abraham had he had been trying to make that fight with Navarrete for quite the longest as of recently, and seems like that Navarrete he don't want to make the fight, and I don't understand why he wouldn't want to do that, but I can definitely understand why, because it's a bad style matchup, and I think Abraham would stop him, convincingly, but just as far as how we look at the political landscape in boxing, Top Rank is really trying to hold on their belts to the hopeless fighters. So I think that for this fight between Abraham and Robesi Ramirez, come June 18th, for Juneteenth weekend for Freedom Day, I personally believe Abraham he needs to come out and he needs to dominate him. He cannot let Robesi Ramirez just gain his confidence on him, and then start doing all this crazy nonsensical skill sets that people try to make him out to be. Because I don't really think Robesi is like the greatest fighter out there, but I mean he does have skill. Don't get it twisted, but it's like knowing that he had defeated Orlando, Capu Gonzalez, I wasn't really too sold on the performance because, yeah, he did like a very, very good job, but at the end of the day, I personally think due to his style was only able to work because, Orlando wasn't able to, basically press on the gas a little bit more, and he could have just made it a lot easier. So, I mean, either way, I mean, it's still good, for Abraham to get this fight, but at the end of the day, you really have to prove yourself, and you really have to start putting putting yourself on that pedestal to be that type of fighter where people can actually respect you. But I do believe that this is a very, very tough fight. I think AB he will have like a very, very good outing because this is at the Madison Square Garden, the mecca of boxing, and I think that this is going to bring out a lot of eyes to Abraham's career. So hopefully everybody that is potentially going to tune in, be sure to take a look at that, and I'm definitely looking forward to seeing what Abraham Nova does. So um, I guess as far as the Joe Smith Jr. Beterbiev fight, I'm not really too sold on that. I personally think Joe Smith, he's gonna get knocked out. I don't think Beterbiev is gonna be playing with this match because I think everybody knows that Beterbiev, he's been holding those belts for quite a long time, and he just has more dog in him as a fighter to really be giving Joe Smith Jr. a run for his money. But I mean, knowing that this is at the Madison Square Garden and this is in Joe Smith Jr.'s backyard, I don't really see Artur Beterbiev really having that much of a easy outing fighting him, and I think it's going to be a very interesting fight. So either way, I'm definitely looking forward to it. Hopefully that I can make it to that fight, and everything can be leveled out properly. So yeah, be sure to like, rate, comment, and subscribe. I will give you guys more updates for anything else that I have, and I'll probably be talking about the Errol Spence, Canelo Alvarez situation. So yeah, be sure to be sure to check that out and be on the lookout for that. I'll be making that video pretty soon. Next, and yeah, this is Kieran Rodriguez signing out. KRAD7435. Y'all could check me out over at my Instagram, Kieran Rodriguez 6, and check me out on here on YouTube.